Welcome. We're going to do something a little different today. We're going to explore the wisdom and the incredible legacy of Sheikh Zayed, the founding father of the UAE, through an imagined conversation. And here's the thing, it's all based on his actual words, his philosophies, and the spirit he was known for.
So let's set the scene. You've got to picture this place. We're stepping back in time to the Al Ain Palace. And forget what you might imagine when you hear the word palace. This was a place of profound simplicity, but just packed with historical weight. It's right here that our imagined conversation happens, drawing its spirit from the very walls of this place.
So just to be clear, what you're about to hear isn't some dusty historical transcript. Think of it more like we're trying to channel the spirit and wisdom of Sheikh Zayed himself, using his own documented words to bring his timeless advice to life. It's really about getting to know the man behind the nation.
So, you might be asking, where did this unique worldview even come from? Let's start by exploring the personal connections and the very place that shaped him into the leader he became.
You know, the whole conversation kicks off on this incredibly touching, personal note. When he's told that a child in Egypt grew up thinking he was her grandfather, his imagined response just gets right to the heart of his philosophy. For him, it wasn't about bloodlines at all. It was about a genuine connection, you know? Something built on feeling, respect, and good intentions. And that idea is the foundation for everything else.
Okay, so how does that personal feeling translate into leading a country? Let's dig into the core principles that really drove him, his fundamental why.
So the first question we imagine asking him goes right to the heart of it all. What did his humble beginnings, right here in the Al Ain Palace, truly mean to him?
And his answer, wow, it just perfectly sums up his core belief. The palace wasn't just a building, it was a constant reminder. For Sheikh Zayed, real leadership didn't come from being above the people, but from being one of the people. That simplicity, that was his teacher. It kept him grounded, kept him connected. Okay, so how did he actually stay connected? Well, this next question dives into one of the most important parts of his rule, the modulus, or council, where literally anyone could come and speak with him face to face. And his take on the Majlis is just fascinating. For him, it wasn't a duty or some kind of burden. He didn't see it as a chore. He called it his true school. This was where he learned what was really going on, the real hopes and problems of his people, stuff he knew you could never get from a report or a book. The key takeaway? I mean, it's crystal clear. If you close your door as a leader, you lose your insight.
So, that's the philosophy, but how do you take that idea of listening and actually build a nation with it? Let's look at the principles Sheikh Zayed used to do exactly that.
I mean, think about it. When it was time to form the UAE, there was a lot of fear, a lot of doubt floating around between the different emirates. But his conviction, it was absolute. He was totally convinced that their only strength was in unity, and he built that union on respect, on dialogue, and on putting the people's interests first. So when you ask him, what's the secret to the UAE's success, his answer is surprisingly simple. It's not some complicated economic formula. Nope. It boils down to three things: people, openness, and identity.
And this right here, this is probably his most famous, most foundational philosophy. So many people looked at the oil discoveries and saw dollar signs. But for Sheikh Zayed, nah, that was false wealth. The real, the true, the lasting fortune of a nation was its people. Investing in them was the only investment that really mattered.
And here's the thing about investing in people. He meant everyone. He was absolutely unwavering on this point. A nation just can't rise if it leaves half its people behind. To him, having women fully participate wasn't some trendy modern idea. It was a flat-out necessity for building a real future. Okay, so we've heard the principles, but what did that actually look like? What were the results when you put these ideas into action? Let's take a look.
This timeline just lays it out perfectly. You can see the whole arc of his vision. It all started with a dream, right there in that simple palace. That dream was turned into action through decades of investment in people. And the reality today? A nation where the next generation is literally reaching for the stars.
So imagine asking him what he thinks about seeing an Emirati in space. The pride is just immense. But listen closely. Notice how he immediately ties this incredible modern achievement right back to his core values. It's like he's saying, yes, this is amazing. Challenge the impossible, but don't you ever forget your responsibility to serve your nation.
You know, his vision didn't stop at the UAE's borders. He always saw his nation as part of a much bigger Arab world. He saw Egypt as his cultural heart. The Gulf Council is a fortress for stability. But most of all, he believed that Arab unity wasn't just some nice political idea. He saw it as an absolute necessity, like for their very survival and collective strength.
All right, finally, let's get to his most personal advice, the kind of wisdom you'd pass down about family, about character, and about what it really means to leave a mark on the world.
You know, Sheikh Zayed always said the family is the first school, and you can totally see that right here in the principles he passed down. They're basically a mirror of his national philosophy: respect, humility, service. It's simple, really. For him, you couldn't build a strong nation without the foundation of strong families.
This next part is really interesting, his take on hobbies. He was passionate about nature, the desert, falconry, horses, but get this, these weren't just ways to relax or escape. He saw them as tools for learning. He learned patience from nature, perspective from the desert, and discipline from falconry.
And that brings us to the final, and maybe the most crucial question of the whole conversation. After everything, what is his ultimate advice for holding on to that most precious thing of all, unity?
In his answer, it's just this powerful, direct plea. He calls unity a treasure that has to be guarded, whether it's in a family or a nation. It's built on love and sacrifice, and it can be shattered by pride and anger. He truly believed that if your hearts are united, you can do the impossible, absolutely anything.
And this is the final crucial point he leaves us with. A legacy isn't about big speeches or promises. It's defined by actions, by a lifetime of service. It's just a profound final thought on how you measure a life, how you measure a legacy. In the end, what you do is what remains.